My name is Viktor. We are here at the CES in Las Vegas. Welcome to a new episode with United Robotics Group on the way to the future. We are today here on the CES in Las Vegas. I have my colleague Jason from the US market here. Jason, welcome. So we want to talk about today in this episode about the CES, about the US market in general. We are showcasing here our new product, our humanoid robot, the Yumi. And I would like to understand first, how do you see the potential of this humanoid robot in the US market?
Well, first of all, it's so nice to have you. I should be welcoming you. Welcome everybody to Las Vegas. This is the headline show for the world of consumer electronics, and now it's a global phenomenon. The thing about the show that I'm seeing being here the last few days is robotics has become center stage. You know, this show used to be all about TVs and phones, and previous to that, rotary phones and CBs. So it's great to see that the industry is moving in the direction of our company here at URG. So thank you and welcome everybody. I'm Jason Panella. I'm the CEO of URG Americas, and we have a brilliant partnership with Germany, and we're here at the German Pavilion with United Robotics Group Germany.
So what the potential of the US market? So how do you feel about it? So when it comes to humanoid robots, you have also own manufacturers for humanoid. If we are talking about Tesla. But we will try also now to come up with our own solution to the market. Do you believe we have a chance together to convince the customers, the end users, to go the next step?
Victor, it's a really good question, and it's a timely question because here at the show you see 30 or 40 companies, with humanoid technology. We're following companies like Figure AI, and you've mentioned a couple of the others like Tesla and Boston Dynamics. What we see is that the venture capital world has certainly made the bet, right? They've made the bet that the humanoid is going to change the nature of work, and it's going to change it rapidly, especially here in the U.S. Now, I think the debate right now is maybe on the horizon or timeline to do this, right? But either way, we have to start preparing for that future. So this means to me in the U.S. over the next few years, we're going to see a rapid expansion of those university robotics programs around engineering, around AI. This is going to prepare the future American workforce for building the robots, working with them as technicians, or working with them out there in the field, whatever field they're in. Healthcare. It could be they could be just a teacher, or they could be an automotive mechanic.
Yeah.
Every job can be affected by what a humanoid might provide in the future. So I see the market moving in that direction, kind of higher ed first, and then also some K-12 following, while those use cases are developed in industry. So yes, this is going to be a huge market, and there's a lot of space for different humanoids with different capabilities. So I think we focus on our core markets. For URG, we will naturally have a very competitive product here.
Yeah, that's right. It's today the second day, and we see a lot of interest. People stopping by, making selfies, asking a lot of questions. But I know the debate about humanoids is often emotionally. So some people are afraid when it comes to humanoid robots. Some people are open to that. So I believe there's a huge potential beside that. You mentioned education, you mentioned healthcare environments. So we believe, and we will push together this market. We believe in the potential in these markets. But as you know, we are not only focusing on humanoid robots. Besides that, we are focusing also on life science robotics and in service robotics in general. What do you think would be the success secret to enter the market in the broader way when it comes to the other products?
Well, it's a really good question you ask, a very hard question. But let's talk about that fear for a second, because maybe if we talk about that a little bit, it could give us some insight in terms of our how we'll behave in the space.
Yeah.
I think that if if URG can be perceived as not necessarily threat, our robotic solutions are not a threat to people's
Therefore, we have the cute
well-being.
design. Yeah.
Correct. If we can be viewed more as a companion, an assistant, help to their role, I think as a company we'll be perceived in a more positive way, and maybe lessen the overall fear factor of people losing their jobs. We don't want ultimately people to lose their jobs, but we do want people to potentially change their jobs. There's a lot of change that does need to happen, and if URG can work, hand in hand with large companies to make that easy and less stressful for people, all the way down through the education side of what we do, I think we'll be fine.
So I know that you guys here focus mostly on the education market. So for us, our dream in Europe and Germany is as well to bring the robot in the classrooms, that the young generation can handle these topics from bottom up, to get familiar with the systems, with the robots, to introduce new skills for the future and so on. But beside education, we are also focusing on healthcare environment, life science environment. What do you think about that? What could be the benefit in those environments from the humanoid topic?
We love it. This is going to be the sort of the secret sauce, or the magic for URG America is pivoting from what we've done in education. We've learned a lot about how robots can be effective with children, especially younger children, children with special needs, communication disorders, things like that. So we can take all those learnings and we can progress, and that's right on the dividing line between healthcare and education. It's a very they tangential topic, right? And then on the other side, we see how effective our traditional robots like Pepper have been with the aging population. So with seniors, and how Pepper can help in a managed care facility around a companion idea, or even playing games or things that might help someone with dementia, for example. So with those two learnings, we've got kind of the end of the spectrum, and then the early end of both ends of the life spectrum to focus on with robotic solutions. Then the secret sauce I see is kind of in that middle, which are in Germany are developing functional robots that assist in the workforce, and that's the piece we've been missing here in the US. So we're introducing the products that you've had success with in Europe, the ULab Mobile, the ULOG series, and even the cleaning and other robots that support the infrastructure. We see huge value, huge upside for URG in the US.
Yeah, I spoke to a lot of people in the last 2 days. So because we have the picture with the lady and the Yumi's touching her. So people like this idea to bring the robots next to the human, to serve the humans, to serve the society. This is our purpose, our vision. But we need also on the regulatory side, also we need to speed up, especially in Europe, I think, as well as in the US, that we are allowed to go on this, and we have the support from politics, and also all we needed to bring it together. So, what from a regulatory side, do you think it's going to be easy the next 3 to 5 years that we are going to really to the human?
Well, at the moment, from what I see in terms of the solutions we'll bring from Europe into the US, focused in the lab automation area, we're not finding any barrier to entry around FDA approvals or specific barriers of that nature. If we get into more of a direct care or affecting patient care, I think that's when we could face things around regulatory that we'll have to pass. So I think maybe best way for me to answer that is we're going to start slow and learn, and certainly safety is the top of everyone's mind around robots. So we're going to be very careful about where robots are placed initially, and provide a lot of support and personalized service around those implementations, so that the hospital feels safe and protected. The long-term care facility feels safe and protected.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Cool. Makes sense for me too. Yeah. This is the common vision.
Can I ask you a couple of questions about what's happening in Germany and what you see about the product roadmap that generally affects us probably 6 months or a year later, so that we can start our planning around those innovations? Can you speak on that a little bit?
Thank you for that. So in Germany, we now also start to feel the hype about humanoid robots. That's the reason why we are stepping in. So we have a lot of robots in routine, in life science environments as well. So robots driving around, recognizing objects, are able to grip them. We have voice commands also on the other robots. Now we bring everything we learned there, we bring to the humanoid robot, and what we are missing, and I guess it's the same you have here in the US, we missed the long-term strategy from the German or European government to say, okay, where we want to be in 10 years, where we want to go in 20 years. So everything, it's short-term, everyone cooking, like we say in Germany, own food. But we have no big agenda behind that, like Chinese have. But you have some companies in the US, they have a long-term strategy behind that. So we want to go in this direction, that we transfer, we continue the transfer from what we learned, what we can do already to the humanoid robot, and we will start to add new features on that. So from technical side, make a lot of possibilities to add different grippers to the system for different purposes. So we will continue to drive the innovation from our side, but we can't do it alone. The market is too big for us also, and that's why we appreciate your support here in the US market, because the market is really huge, and the potential is I can't even say it in words. We believe it's a huge potential to grab together, and we need the right partners to do so.
That's a very thoughtful response, Viktor. Thank you for that. And I'll just add to that in the U.S., what we see in terms of kind of that unified direction, if you will, we feel as though U.S. companies in general want to own more of the AI, more of the software, more of the processing, the chip play, the speed, the VLA, the visual learning, the VLM, the visual learning model, like that we see, and maybe a little less focus on the physical, if you will, like the hardware side. So maybe, just maybe, you guys fit, like we working together, we bring the best of the physical and what the US has in terms of strength on the brain power, and merged, it creates
a win-win,
something
for both
even
sides.
better for everybody. Yeah,
sounds good. Yeah, thank you for your insights. Thank you for your time, and to everyone who was listening. Thank you, guys.
And thank you guys especially for coming over from overseas. It's no small effort to come from Germany and to release a new humanoid at CES. It's an amazing accomplishment and landmark, and something we can build from. So thank you.
I think the CES is the best stage you can choose for to introduce this product to a global audience, let's say. So yeah, we're happy to be here, and we still have 2 days to go. So
yes,
yeah, thank you for your support as well, and yeah, thank you for listening. For more information, just follow us on our socials, and we are happy to connect.